So welcome to a lovely moment with Kathleen and Sarah, where we find out a little bit more about this this thing that's taking Ireland by storm, the red tent. and we're at the helm. In that, Sarah here has begun what we are going to begin in Inishowen, in her neighbourhood. I met Sarah at Ishnach, a beautiful site in Ireland, and it was music, sound, and movement. That's what I associate with you, Sarah. So Saraí Humble, let me know more about your experience, please, with this red tent and this feminine mysteries and this getting together with women, and how it's affected you and how it worked for you in your community.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen. It's so nice to be able to speak to Donegal. Yeah. God bless technology, and let's hope that it works on our side. So I'm living in Westport in County Mayo, and in and around the time of my daughter starting to bleed, I suddenly was swamped with my lack of knowledge in such matters, you know. Despite being a woman myself, I had very little understanding about our cycles and how they affect us. And when you're confronted with a teen girl at the cusp of it, you suddenly realize that your knowledge might not be enough. So after a very long and dark winter trying to figure out ways, I started looking for a red tent, because I felt even if I couldn't get my daughter through the door, that even though I hadn't attended something like this, it was my intuition that it would be the right thing to do. Unfortunately, there was no groups running, and I remembered our lovely friend Jacinta was down in Clare, and she had talked to me about her red tent. So conversation went on, thank God for technology, about her taking her road tents on the road. And we're very honoured in Westport because we were her first. And it was literally, I was down in Clare, we were doing a bit of work together, myself and Jacinta, and she looks at me and she says, it has to be this week. I went, but it's Sunday. And she says, no, but it has to be this weekend coming up. I says, that gives us 5 days, because I'm not going to be home till Monday. So I came home and I put out loads of flyers and put out to the lovely Facebook people. And on Friday, Jacinta arrived. 18 women appeared out of the cusp. The reason I started the red tent was because I felt very alone as my daughter had changed into womanhood. And I realized that winter, as I had sat there before Jacinta had brought her road tent to us, that I was not special. I was not alone. If I was feeling this, then maybe other women within the community. So this drive, when Jacinta said that she was going to come up, came very strongly in me. And I ran around like a mad hatter that week. But 18 women gathered. Most of us did not know each other. On that first night, the tent went on for many hours, but it seemed like minutes. And there was such a depth of honesty and sharing and compassion and beauty. And the theme of our tent went along the lines of, who were you when you were 7 years old? And it gave space to open up conversations of stories that hadn't been told or heard or had tears shed as a community for. And the effect of it was astounding. The next day, 11 women showed, and our red tent started. The new moon was the following week. So we used Jacinta's red tent as a guiding example, and then the next week we chose one of the girls, donated her home, and we chose to gather there, and we integrated a lot of the principles that Jacinta had taught us, such as talk stick principles, where it's more than a talk stick, it's a listening stick. And it gave each woman in the group space to be heard. And our next tent we discussed in our individual hopes for the tent and what we hope to get out of it. So we've taken on board all of these things that Jacinta taught us and made them our own. We have a gypsy red tent in County Mayo. It travels from home to home. We've grown in number since February. We have 156 on our Facebook page, and I think nearly 200 women are on our text message list. And each month, come up to the new moon, we send out a message that there will be a gathering, but the directions are kept secret until somebody decides they want to attend, and they text back the number, and the directions are then given. We chose that one woman would host and one woman would facilitate, and none of us would hold a role of hierarchy, that this was a co-created event and it was shared. The only requirement to our tent that we chose was authenticity, and it's beautiful. I cannot describe how much it fills the heart every month to gather with these women I don't get to see during the month, and hear how I am not special in all of the challenges I face, in all of the sadnesses and joyful moments that I carry are also carried by women. And when I'm sad in circle, I close my eyes, and each woman that speaks and I listen to could be my own voice. And so each time I leave the tent, I'm invigorated and ready to face another month of unpredictability and life as it storms through. And other women have had the same. It's constantly growing in number. We've now got a subdivision developed in Westport to accommodate the mothers, because we realise how difficult it is with children, and we want to have it as co-created as possible. A daytime red tent once a month would be gathered, where they can bring their children, and teen girls are brought in so that they can experience the tent without the pressure of experiencing the tent, to mind the younger children, and we create celebration and joy as a group of women within the community, dancing, drumming, singing, everything that we're doing in our red tent is co-creation. We photograph our tables, every tent, and this helps keep our anonymity of where we are. And there's such an street landscape, and it's absolutely glorious. I'm completely wandering, so I would appreciate a little bit of guidance.
I just love what you're saying, and the technology supported us throughout. That was great. As in, I was glad you got round to the teenagers as well. It must have strengthened you as well. In a sense, it sounds like, so you're not alone. You can overcome things. It sounds like if there are issues, you can watch others be strong and courageous. And I suppose a question really for anyone who's intrigued but maybe not have done anything like that before. I guess I was going to ask for more details about it, but really everyone's welcome, and everyone is a co-creator, as you say. So if they've something to offer, then they offer it, and it's the right thing for that moment.
It can be as simple as a couple of tea bags, of a nice herbal tea that nourishes you, or a bunch of flowers to place on the center piece, or a song, or a poem, or bring your Tibetan bowl or your favorite meditation or your piece of craft to share with somebody. It is really a celebration of all of our diversity, but all of our sameness. We generally bring food to share because you know, a wise woman said that when you break bread, you create peace. And that's really what we all aim for with Mayo Tent, is this non-judgmental, peaceful, soft space.
Yeah.
And it's so nurturing and it's so kind.
And a lot of listening. And I think as well, recently I was at an event where someone didn't have English. They were deaf, and that's nice as well when it's not all about words. You know, it's about moments and peace and
Silences.
it's curious. I'd love to meet you again and chat. I think what I'd love to do now, just to thank anyone who is listening, perhaps treat ourselves and them with some music. I don't know. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Totally putting me on the spot.
I'll tell you what,
Kathleen, I did hear whisper in the wind about the road tent arriving up in Donegal. So I would like to show my support and travel up and meet all the lovely ladies that you gather together. And I plan to bring my sound bowls with me. So as my participation, maybe a small sound massage, meditation, shower, bath, fly through the universe with sound. So maybe that might be a bit more of an appropriate time.
Let's do that.
Hopefully we will see you in Donegal on Friday. I am very excited, and I will be bringing the energy from the Westport Red Tent on the road. And Jacinta and I have talked very much about this beautiful vision she holds about each tent being created in every county in Ireland, and each tent being authentic in who they are and who they become as a group of women. And then one day we all gather together in each of our glorious beauty, each of our counties, so that we can gather together and see that united, there are no obstacles. United, we can share any amount of pain. And united, there's only beauty that can be created. So I do believe my battery is going. So
Beauty
I'm going to go.
And energy recycle. Yeah, that's so wonderful. Thank you for your beautiful presence, Sarah. Love to hear
August Bionic tea.
August is Fager.
It's August is Fager.
And all the ones that we're going to make up as we go along.
Oh, Kushla McCree. Close to my heart. Flying point my car.
Safe travels. And good luck
to
everyone who may come. It's here at the Edge School in Inishowen. And it's on Friday coming, the first Friday of July 2018. Get in touch with me, Kathleen O'Hara.
You will not regret it, ladies. Slán.